For today's video, I thought I would talk about some lessons I learned while coaching Little League Baseball that I think are applicable to almost any kind of leadership situation where you have to manage people, whether it's kids in sports or whether it's people in the workplace. And so the first one of those is the idea that when you have to help people through something that is a little bit difficult, whether they're kids or adults, leading off with something positive is a great way to start out so that you aren't putting them in a negative position to begin with. So in the case of baseball, somebody's struggling a little bit with their hitting, you encourage them and say, maybe it's just your swing's really great, you just need to adjust these things. Or maybe it's if their hitting is really a mess, then you talk about how their throwing is doing fairly well. Kind of tangential to that is the idea that on every Little League team, and there's always somebody that's the worst person on the team, and probably in the workforce, there's always somebody that's the worst at something. And so whether that's they're the worst at hitting or they're the worst at fielding or whatever, somebody always has to be the worst. And typically that person knows it, and it can be frustrating. And so if you can kind of encourage them that the things that they are good at are that they're really good at, and kind of coach them to be better at the things that they're good at. And in work, that's maybe take away the jobs from somebody that they are really bad at or they really hate, and allow them to spend their time on the things that they're good at, or at least most of their time on the things that they're good at, so that they're not frustrated. And probably in the working world, you're more likely to have somebody stick around longer as an employee as a result of that. And the third thing that kind of ties into the previous two is the idea that you want to call out when somebody does something particularly right that you want other people to model. Because if you highlight that thing that somebody did right, and you call it out, and in the case of baseball, maybe it's a great throw, somebody got in front of the ball, they got down on the ball, they scooped it up, threw to first base just like they were supposed to. And if you reinforce that, it puts that mental image in the mind of the kids, all of the kids, that hey, here's the right way to do it. And in the working world, you can point out things that somebody did particularly right, particularly if you're working on new projects where maybe it's something that not everybody already knows how to do. And so you call it out and say, hey, Joe over there did a great job. These are the things that he did, and if you model that, you'll do a great job too. So I don't know. I mean, those are three things that I feel like have been applicable in almost every leadership situation I've ever been in. Maybe you have some experiences from your own coaching career or from the working world that you'd like to share. I'd love to hear them.